Welcome. We've got the Division 3 weekly roundup. We have David McLeod. He's the new football director at the PLYMPTON Football Club. Welcome, David.
G'day, thanks for having me.
Only new to the role this year, mate?
Yeah, stepped in after a club legend, Chris Dennison, had been doing it for a few years and decided to have a bit of a break, well-earned break, so I've taken the job on and really enjoying it. Good challenge and getting to know the players more intimately rather than, well, that didn't sound very good, but you know, in a good way, so it's really good for me and my development at the club.
So you're really enjoying the role?
I am, yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, the players have been very welcoming and got a new committee, so the committee's doing a lot of work.
Excellent.
I'm part of that, so things are going well at the moment.
Excellent. Last week we go through a few scores. Seaton Ramblers are travelling on just nicely there in the top three. They were at home at Big Al's Car Park and 18 goals 8, 116 defeated Morphettville Park 9-16-70. So 46-point win to Seaton at home.
Yeah, Seaton travelling very well, very consistent. Been a very good team for years. We've always had good battles with them. A couple of times we thought we were in with a chance of beating them, but they were too good. So we're coming up against them very shortly, so that should be an interesting.
And you're not far from Morphettville Park, so you probably know them pretty well.
No, we've been a fairly strong competition between the two clubs over the years and the history, and very much looking forward to it. It's a big game for us this year, so very, very keen to strike up a win if we can. So.
Yeah. The next game was close to here, was at the Thunderdome at Portland, and Portland surprisingly went down at home. They don't often lose at home, and it was Flinders Park 18-12, 120 defeated Portland 10-12, 72. So yeah, that's a big win, 48-point victory to Flinders Park.
Yeah, that was very surprising. We played Flinders Park the week before and scraped in by a goal and a bit in a tough game down at Flinders Park, and they're a very, very strong team, and Portland gave us a bit of a touch-up. They got off to a 7-goal start in the first quarter against us in front, and we were never able to pull that back, so we hold them in real high regard. So yeah, it's a bit surprising, but this season's been a bit like that. You know, teams have sort of gone off to play games they probably expect to win. And
there's some weird results. Portland don't often get rolled at home. They lost their last two at home.
Yeah, right.
So they've got beaten twice, once by Morphettville Park and then Flinders Park. Yeah. So, you know, after the week before beating North Haven by about 17 goals. So,
it makes the season very hard to tip.
Yeah, it does. It was a weird one, and I think North Haven only kicked their goal with about 30 seconds to go in the game.
Right.
So, top of the table, Westminster Old Scholars, they continued along their merry way, and 14-9-93 defeated Scotch Old Collegians 10-6, 66, and that was at GLANDORE or TILBROOK RASHEED Oval.
Westminster travelling, very strong team. They taught us a bit of a lesson earlier in the year, and we've got Scotch coming up now next game. So so I think that'll be one of the defining moments of our season. If we're good enough to beat them, Scotch, then we're definitely worth considering as a finals contender at this stage. You know, God willing, with injuries and what have you. But
Scotch have recruited well, but just not quite putting it together yet. I feel they might come home well.
Yeah, well, last year for us we recruited quite well, but we found a few weeks where we just each player didn't really know where everyone else's role yet, and it takes a while to get to the gel. But I think we're definitely getting closer, and I'm sure Scotch will be a tough ask next year.
And North Haven, after their huge hiccup the other week against Portland, they've made every post a winner since then, and on the weekend they played Walkerville at Walkerville, and it was North Haven 20 goals 9, 129 defeated Walkerville 6-14, 50. So it was a 79 point margin to North Haven.
Well, North Haven are in the top three at the moment, travelling really well. So I think
very good side.
Yeah, they are very strong.
Yeah,
there's a few very good teams and a few that are sort of going through the rebuild, and then there's the group in the middle that are sort of vying for the upper spots. But the way the results are going this year, it's really hard to pick.
Yeah, it is. I know they had a hiccup the other week, North Haven, but I expect them to be around the mark during the finals. They're a top three side.
Yep.
Certainly, Seaton, I think probably the top three might be as they finish.
Could very well be, yeah.
And
then the rest of us is all dependent on not having those games where teams just get blown out of the water when they're not expected to be
Yeah,
expected favourites.
might be a Morphettville Park, a Plympton, a Portland, a Flinders Park, and a Scotch perhaps fighting out 4th and 5th.
Could very well be. Well, we'll be going for top 3.
Oh yeah, I think well, everyone does at the start of the year. Of course, that's the aims, and yeah. This week we've got Pembroke OS scholars who are struggling. They're playing Flinders Park, but at home at Haslam Oval, it has its own little nuances there with the tree growing over the oval. And
played a few years of cricket there, so
how would you think that game might?
yeah, Pembroke are struggling a little bit, but they're going through a fairly big transition with Tim. I saw that he was interviewed in one of these as well recently, and yeah, he's a good coach, and we played them last week and were comfortable winners in the end. But the first half they actually showed a lot of spirit and definitely looked better than being bottom. We sort of got away from them in the end, but yeah, you could see signs of Tim's doing a good job.
So they might improve in the latter half of the season.
I think so. Yeah, once they start to get a bit of a feel, they had quite a few players out from last year's grand final team, so yeah, it's never going to be easy when you're involved in that stage. But
yeah, Morphettville Park, they play host to Walkerville at McLeod Reserve. Never been there, but I've heard it's a strange shape and very odd.
Yeah, that's a hard one to pick actually. Yeah, I'm really not sure.
Walkerville is struggling.
Yeah, and Morphies are pretty good at the moment, but just
at home.
Yeah, you'd expect that they can.
Yeah. Clash of the round, without a doubt, is down at Largs North Reserve. We've got North Haven taking on Westminster Old Scholars.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, you'd assume that home ground advantage would have something to play in that, but yeah, Westminster are a very, very good team. So
yeah, both sides very good.
Yeah. If you're putting your money on, you'd be going each way, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm taking North Haven. I think I reckon they're probably the side to beat this year.
Yeah.
I know it's a big call coming up from Division 4, but they've got a very good side. Another big game at Big Owls Car Park. Two sides that know each other very, very well, and it's a bit of a local derby. And Seaton Ramblers take on Portland.
Yeah, Seaton. Yeah, we were talking earlier about Seaton. They're a good unit. Play really good footy, consistent. Got good big players, move the ball quickly. So yeah, I tend to say I'll be favouring them to win that one.
Yeah, on form you'd have to take Seaton. And then, of course, there's your game, and you're heading to Scotch College at the white picket fence, and you're taking on Scotch.
Yes, it'd be a great game. As I said, it could be a season-defining moment for us. You know, we were 1-2 and not looking fantastic, albeit that we were competitive. But now being 3-2 to turn the season around a bit, we can end up with a good game and end up 4-2. That would really be a good sign for us to moving forward. We've got a tough run coming up, so
it's also a 4-point game in the fact that if you beat Scotch, you're sitting 4th, they're 6th, so you clear away.
Yes, that's the theory anyway. Yeah, in theory, yeah. But they're very, very, very good team, and their ground's magnificent. Play cricket there as well.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful place. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to the challenge.
Thank you very much for doing our weekly roundup.
Pleasure.